just moments ago. 7-time NHL All-Star Mike Madonna threw out the ceremonial first pitch. Looked good. Got it to the plate. That's all that really matters. And we are lucky enough to be joined here by two very special guests. I'm Sarah Kustok, and to my right is Mike Madonna and Dustin Byfuglien, and both are here in Chicago for the USA Hockey Olympic Orientation Camp. But first, Mike, you got to tell me, what did it feel like being out there throwing out that first pitch?
It's a little nerve-wracking, but I've had a couple opportunities of doing for the Rangers in Texas, so a little experience there, but still nerve-wracking nonetheless.
Mike, a member of Dallas's NHL team, but Dustin here, very own Blackhawk. What's it like getting a chance to be at this orientation camp and a chance to represent your country?
Oh, it means so much. I mean, going in, I never thought it'd happen, and I mean, it came so fast, and it's an honor skating with Mike and Gomez and all these veteran guys, and it means everything. And now I can go out and say skated with the best of them, and hopefully it all works out to a great advantage.
Mike, will be your fourth Olympic Games. What advice do you give some of these guys who are younger coming up through the ranks?
It's just a great time. It'll be memorable, and one of your best experiences that you'll be a part of. We've been fortunate enough to be included in the Olympic Games for a little while now. So, but it's hard to say in the words what they'll feel. But until you get there and feel it, actions and words don't express it. But it's a great experience just being around the other athletes and in the Olympic Village, and it's such a great stage to be on with your best players of your country, and you're with them, and it makes that experience more worthwhile.
Well, we're glad to have both you along here to support the White Sox and join in this game, and we are just a few minutes away from the first pitch. Hawk and Stoney have the call right here on Comcast Sportsnet.
The Sox enter tonight's play. 2 games in back of Detroit, 3 back in the loss column. And tonight they send Freddie Garcia to the mound. I'm looking forward to this one. He had a pretty good run at it in the minor leagues. And the Sox take the field. And here's the Southwest starting lineup for the Kansas City Royals. It's DeJesus leading it off. Then Bloomquist, Butler, who's had quite a month, Jacobs, who had a 3-run homer last night, Teospo, Tien, Mayer, Buck, and Betancourt. The Lowe's defensive setup and how they'll line up behind Freddie Garcia, left to right, Quinton, Rios, and Dye. In the infield, Beckham, Ramirez, Nix, and Konerko. A.J. Pierzynski, who had a 2-run homer last night, behind the plate. And the U.S. Cellular starting pitcher, Freddie Garcia. ERA 180 in 4 starts. He racked up 20 innings, walked only 1, and fanned 19. It is a gorgeous night, 76 degrees, humidity at 45%. The wind's out of the west, 8 to 12 miles an hour, and partly cloudy. The umpires tonight, Wally Bell behind the plate, Mark Carlson at first, Marty Foster at second, Chad Fairchild is at third. There's a look at Freddie, and he struggled with the Royals. 8-11, ERA 6.12, but it's a different Freddie Garcia and certainly a much different Royals baseball team. It's 7-11. It's time for the first pitch. Tonight's game time start is presented by 7-Eleven. Oh, thank heaven for 7-Eleven. As they throw the ball around the infield and get set for the first pitch, I'll turn it over to my play-by-play partner, Hawk Harrelson.
All right, Stone Pony, thank you. And once again, good evening, everyone, and welcome to White Sox baseball right here on Comcast Sportsnet. So happy you could join us for Game 2 of this 3-game set and Game 2 of this 6-game homestand. Finish it off tomorrow with these guys. Off day on Thursday, then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, Baltimore comes to town. But right here, David DeJesus gets set in the batter's box. And the first pitch from the big 6'4" right-hander is taken up high. DeJesus comes in hitting at 263, 8 homers. He's driven in 54.
Some pretty good numbers against Freddie Garcia, who you'd have to figure is pretty psyched up right now.
There's a strike. Royals come in at 46 and 72, hitting at 254 as a club with a 4.74 ERA. Outfield about equal distance, slightly to the left as that pitch misses, and the count 2-1. DeJesus 11 for 28 lifetime off Freddie.
This is a pretty decent lineup. Where they've had problems has been their relief pitching. And of course, they're not the Lone Rangers in baseball. It's a scarce commodity these days.
Chopper makes with the pitch. So 1 out. And that'll bring up Bloomquist.
You always have to watch the bunt with Willie Bloomquist. And with that in mind, I'm sure Beckham will be close at third. Willie's been very pesty against the Sox.
He was 1 for 5 last night, but hit the ball better than that. And he has faced Freddie 9 times, has 3 hits. And here at beautiful US Cellular Field, 330 down the left field line, 335 down the right field line, 375 in the gaps, and 400 straightaway center. And the count 2-0. There's a strike. Freddie in his career, 41 games over 500, 118 up, 77 down. And with the Sox, in that Sox uniform, was 40 and 21.
Those are some pretty strong numbers. Freddie's been a good pitcher for a long time.
Well, he's only 32 years old.
And if his arm is back 100%, this could be a big addition.
That ball hit into center field. Can of corn for Alex. 2 down. Well, you know, the thing about Freddie is that even when at the end of his career with us, when he was not throwing that well, Freddie, as you mentioned in the opening, Stone Pony, has been a big game pitcher. He's got stones this big, and he's not afraid to go out there with not as good stuff and still keep you in the ball game.
Well, he pitched against us last year when he came in with the Tigers,
yeah.
And he obviously wasn't ready to go, and he was more than a representative effort, and he was tough to play against.
That's the way he's been. Now, when he's got his good stuff, decent control, you're beat in the past. But he's going to have to adjust. And also, you touched on it in the open, the fact that he wouldn't be out there unless they thought he was going to be at least decent. One and one the count to Butler, hitting at 298, 14 homers, 62 driven in. But he's one of those guys that never bothered me how he was throwing the ball.
Well, he's always had really good control of whatever he's got on a given day.
And there's the strike. So the count 1-2. 36'4", 260 pounds. He's a big man.
That's a nice size man.
Yeah. Got away with one right there.
Fortunately, he hung that higher than high, which was good because Billy Butler is a very strong young man at just 23 years old, just coming into his power. And this guy can hit.
That ball hit hard in the right field. Tremaine. One hops the fence. So Butler picks up his 39th double.
Right now, that's what Butler does best. He's a doubles machine, but in the not too distant future, those doubles are going to leave the ballpark. This is an inside-out stroke on an inside fastball, and he just kind of flicks it down the line. Jermaine has no chance on this one.
1/30th of a second. That's all it is. That's the difference in line drive hitters and guys as strong as him. Becoming home run hitters is 1/30th of a second. If he is 1/30th of a second late on that pitch, the ball is a home run. So here's Jacobs. Takes it down low.
And there's no doubt Freddie is just laughing. He crosses up AJ, and AJ went out to talk with him. Freddie goes, I know. I'll eventually get the signals right. AJ did a terrific job of catching something that he did not expect to arrive like that. Freddie goes, hey, I'm sorry.
My bad.
Yeah. We'll work this out. You just don't want to pitch this guy low.
Unless it's going down like that.
Well, that's low and in out of the zone, and there you can pitch him. That actually was a real good breaking ball.
That was the best curveball I've seen Freddie throw in a long time. Right
79 miles an hour? Pretty good.
Not like that 67.
No.
He went again. And the count 1-2. Jacobs 1 for 1 last night. A pinch hit 3-run homer. That coming in the top of the 8th inning to tie that game at 7, and he hit it a long way, which he can do.
Well, Freddie's got two choices. Both result in a strikeout. Face high fastball or a breaking ball in the dirt.
Slow low, hard high. And if you missed that home run last night, 2 out, 2 on. Sox leading 7-4, top of the 8th. Way back. 16 homers, 44 driven in. And that's popped up left side. Stay in here. Gordon's going to stay with it. Makes a catch. Going away from home plate. And that'll retire the side. So after a half inning of play, it's the Royals nothing and the good guys coming to bat.
Off with Beckham hitting second, then it's Dye, Konerko, Pierzynski, Quinton, Rios, Ramirez, and Jason Nix playing second, hitting ninth. The Lowe's defensive setup behind Gilmesh, DeJesus, Meyer and Bloomquist with Tien, Betancourt, Callaspo and Butler. Buck behind the plate. And the U.S. Cellular starting pitcher is Gilmesh. On for his 21st start, his second since coming off the disabled list. He started out throwing real well this year, but not recently. So we'll see how that works out for him.
And before we show you our picks to click, you at home select yours. Scotty Pods will lead it off. Takes it up high, corners in close. Pods hitting at 297, 4 homers. He's driven in 36. 2 for 5 last night with 2 big RBIs.
And here's the one that won it. Alex Rios at second, the bobble in center field, and that's the winning run.
That ball hit into center field. Meyer back.
It's our Jaguar high performance of the week, and it is Mr. Clutch, Scott Posednik. You saw the base hit last night, August 4th. Similar base hit in the 9th, June 25th against the Dodgers. Once again, a big base hit in the 13th, and likewise against the Tigers. So Sednick has been doing the job.
Beckham takes that pitch inside. Gordon hitting in 299, 6 homers. He's driven in 43. And he's got the catbird seat.
You saw how that ball drifted on Meyer in center field. I will show you that that wind is blowing out toward left center. Get one up in the wind, and it's not going to stay in the park.
Three 3-0 with Jermaine Dye on deck. Sox come in with that 262 team average, 4.13 team ERA. Sox 34-27 here at home.
Mesh had some back problems, so Bob McClure, the pitching coach, moved him to the extreme first base side of the pitching rubber.
And there's ball 4. All right, now let's check out our Heineken picks to click tonight. Jim Angio, our director and the crew, went with Dye. Lisa, Steve, and Larry are going to go with Gordon Beckham. And Julie Taylor, Don Esposito, Roy Reeves and I, we're going to go with Carlos Quinton. Picks to click brought to you by Heineken's. Strike on the outside corner. Jermaine did not like that call at all.
Take another look at this.
Don't blame him.
And Buck actually pushed that ball further outside, and it was 6 inches outside to begin with.
Better off doing it that way than doing it the other way when it's that bad. Oh, you got a cookie right there, and they're going to. The ball gets away from Butler.
Nice takeout slide by Beckham at second base, and he got a good piece of Callaspo, and that put the throw off target. We'll watch it again. This looked like it was going to be an easy 2, but Beckham goes in hard at second base. And Butler can't hang on to the throw.
Squeezed it too quick.
Callaspo tried to use the bag for protection, still got rolled, and the inning stays alive.
For Paulie has been struggling, to say the least. Hitless in his last 23 at bats. Took that pitch nicely.
Mesh has 7 wild pitches this year. Not throwing near as hard as he was before the back problem surfaced. He was on the DL for one stint.
That breaking ball misses. Down low, 2-0. Paulie also in his last 32 at-bats has 2 hits. So 0 for 23 and 2 for 32.
What do you do, Hawk, when you're in the midst of a slump like that? Do you just trust the fact that you've always hit, so eventually you're going to hit again and not really tinker too much with your stroke?
I wish I knew.
Nobody can really figure out yet?
Nobody ever has. And I don't think anybody ever will. I do think that one thing exacerbates that to a degree, and that is when you're going bad, you try to revert back to when you were going good, and that puts you in a mechanical state of mental process because you're thinking behind the plate, and that is destructive. One of the greatest things I've ever heard from a great hitter when you're going bad was from Al Kaline. He says, when you're going bad and you're in a slump, don't try to get back to where you were when you were swinging the bat good. Start off right now with the ABCs, the rudiments of hitting. Right-handed hitter hit line drives over the second baseman's head and back through the middle. Made a good pitch on him right there, so full count. And that's synonymous as well. You get a 3-1 count at the catbird seat, and the guy hits the outside edge of the outside corner.
And there's no way that Paul should have swung at that because you get yourself out on a pitcher's pitch. You just have to trust that you're going to get a better pitch to hit here. But the last thing you want to do is get over anxious, which sometimes happens when you're struggling.
And that ball line, that's going to be a base hit. That's going to break that run streak. But it's cut off by DeJesus, so Jermaine, who was on the move, pulls into third. Attaboy, Paulie.
That's what happens on 3-1 when you don't swing at the pitcher's pitch, and then he rolls a breaking ball for you, and you get a much better pitch to hit. That ends the over, and hopefully just as quickly as Paul went into that, he'll come out of it.
Paulie, as a rule, really swings the bat well in August and September, as a rule. His thumb wasn't killing.
Good time to do it, and that's been a constant problem for him. When he's healthy, you can almost write down at the beginning of the season the numbers that he's going to put up, and he's going to be right at those numbers each and every year.
And that has a lot of value for a general manager when you're trying to evaluate your club over the winter. So here is AJ, 2 for 4 with a big 2-run homer last night. And if you miss that home run, Sox were leading 5-4. Make it 7-4.
Well, McClure had just gone out, and he said to Bannister, keep this ball away and make it sink away. And if he gets a base hit to left field, he gets it because he's going to try to add on to this by hitting the ball out of the park. So he left, and he threw a little cutter and went out of the park.
Coming in.
Yeah. He said we looked at the pitch and saw that it not only was center cut, but it was moving into AJ.
Well, you remember that Mantle home run in Yankee Stadium that knocked the piece off the facade?
One that was
almost this far from going out, just a couple of feet from going out of the stadium.
563 or something like that?
No, that was in Washington. That was off Chuck Stobbs. But this one, Eddie Lopez was the manager, and he'd just gone out. Bill Fisher, my roommate at that time, was the pitcher. He said, throw him fastballs up because he was hitting left-handed. Because he was a good low ball hitter left-handed, good high ball hitter right-handed. First pitch, as Lopez came back to duck, was a low slider.
Didn't work out well.
No. And there's a base hit. So that good slide by Gordon Beckham, making the throw by Callaspo off the mark, and then Butler squeezed it a little too quick to keep the inning alive. Pays off on the RBI single by Pierzynski.
And what's nice is seeing the opposition give the Sox 4 outs in an inning, and it comes back to haunt them.
So here's Carlos hitting at 229, 11 homers, 29 driven in. Quinn, the bad part, 0 for 7 lifetime off Metz. Ball hit hard, but right to Betancourt it's short. But the Sox catch a break, capitalize, score one, and it's 1-0 good guy.
Gave up a home run, hit one batsman, didn't walk anybody, fan 5 and threw 67 pitches, and he just has to get his arm strong again. The ankle is a non-issue, but you have to develop arm strength, and he'll probably have another one of those that doesn't look great. And we'll evaluate.
Callaspo takes first pitch strike. 1-0 Sox. Well, as I mentioned to you, after that first rehab start, I'm not even counting on him. If he comes back, great. But as you say, the ankle's a non-issue.
And it'll be a big plus if he gets back here at 100% with enough arm strength to support some, if it's a month, if it's 3 weeks, whatever it is, whatever starts he does get. But you got to make sure that his arm is strong enough. And I know that Kenny Williams is not going to rush him back. That's why this start by Freddie Garcia tonight is so important. Callaspo has hit everything in sight against the Sox this year from both sides of the plate.
Alex is there. Ball took off on him a little bit. You mentioned that last inning. That ball's drifting, carrying out in that center field towards left center.
You got to be really careful. And of course, this is the second game for Rios as a member of the Sox in this ballpark. Now, he played here as a member of the Toronto Blue Jays quite a bit, but you got to get used to the elements, and the ball is really carrying tonight.
So here's Tian, 2 for 3 last night, swung the bat well.
Those are the flags in right center field.
Tian 7 for 22 lifetime off Freddie with a homer. No, Mr. Expectations is going to be with you for the rest of your life. But Mr. Expectations can get you into a lot of trouble. By expecting Peavy to come back, be strong in a short period of time when he hadn't thrown a baseball off the mound in almost 2 months. So that's out number 2.
It's a completely different scenario, but talking with John Gibbons, who was a major league manager with Toronto and a coach with Toronto, he had Alex Rios there. And he said, you know, he put up good numbers, lifetime 285 hitter, but he could do so many things that everybody kept expecting every year him to do more things. He said the expectations were so great that whatever he did, it didn't seem to be enough. And sometimes expectations are unrealistic. With Rios, I think we're just scratching the surface at his ability.
Especially when you're looking at the mirror.
It's true.
You've got to learn, as I said, Dick Schwartz psychologist and one of the best in the world, as a matter of fact, out at Oak Park, explained to me one day what expectations. As I said, he's going to be with you the rest of your life, but you better learn how to get along with him, because if you don't, he's going to tear you apart. There's a strike. And the same thing, and it's in a collective way. When you have a player like a Peavy, there's ball 4 to Meyer. Like a Jake Peavy, who is 28 years old, already has a Cy Young on his mound. We get him in a very unexpected fashion. He hadn't thrown the ball in a long time because of the ankle injury. You get back, and all of a sudden, everybody just says, "Wow, Jake Peavy is going to be back, going to lead us to the glory land."
And he throws 3 innings, doesn't give up any runs, gives up a hit, 5 strikeouts. Everybody said, well, boy, it should be just a couple of starts and he should be back.
Ozzie and Kenny take the right approach on this thing. If he's not here, don't worry about it. Let him get in shape. Don't even think about it.
I would be kind of surprised if Meyer is not running. Freddie is slow to home plate, and Meyer is 6 of 7 in the stolen base department, but the last lead wasn't too much.
Well, he had the same lead last night. Very static lead. Very short lead, especially for a big guy who can run. As Buck can't get it. John pulled a muscle on his back against us, as a matter of fact, coming out of the dugout at Kauffman Stadium. And boy, he missed a long time with that.
You have some back problems, and you will miss a long time.
Did you ever have a back problem?
Yeah, I did have back surgery.
Really?
About a week back. No, that's not that's not it. But yeah, I did. I had L5S1, and I will tell you, you're never quite the same.
2 out. I never had any back problems. I played with a lot of guys that did, and I know they went so well. Well, they really did.
I was going to say, as hard as you swung and as much golf as you played, you're very fortunate to not have that experience. But boy, you start getting back spasms, and there's not much you can do about it.
Top foul.
And in the key, and we got some of the best medical staff and preventative guys and strength coaches around. But the key is the core. We have to keep the core strong, and you can see a lot of our players on a daily basis with Hermie and Alan Thomas and Brian Ball going through core exercises, making sure that that core is strong. And if you do that, your back's going to hold up.
Yeah, they are some of the best, and we've got records to prove it. 2-2.
Buck doesn't like to walk very much, and a good breaking ball out of the zone will probably get him. 11 walks this year and 125 at bats.
Well, that's the same scenario here with him as it was with Jacobs. Hard high, slow low. He gone. After an inning and a half, 1-0 Sox. illicit. Tomorrow, the Monsters have Bears kicker Robbie Gould and Bears legend Mike Ditka on to talk about the upcoming season. Monsters in the morning with Mike North and Dan Jiggets. Tomorrow morning from 6 to 9 only on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend.
Well, this is a good night for Alex to hit his first home run as a member of the Sox U.S. Cellular Field. All you got to do is get it up in the air.
He's had some pretty good success against Mesh. Faced him 18 times, has 11 hits. He was 2 for 3 last night in that game with a couple of runs scored. This guy just changes the entire culture of our lineup. Changes the entire culture.
Well, he's big, can hit the ball out of the park, and is very fast, so it gives you yet another base running threat.
Well, as there's a strike, between Rios, Alexei, Nix, and Potts. Okay? So you got, in essence, once the game has already started, 4 guys in a row. As he gets him, you've got 4 guys in a row, Rios, Ramirez, Nix, and Potts, who are 57 for 16. Now, if you wanted to add Chris Getz in there, it would be 75 and 18.
This is more speed than the Sox have had since the Go-Go Sox days.
Well, since Ozzie, who came here in 04, and then prior to that, we didn't have it. One dog could run, he could steal a lot of bases for you, but Ozzie, Kenny, and they're starting to create the kind of team that they want. And that's teams that can manufacture runs off good pitching,
as well as hit the ball out of the ballpark. I mean, in this park, that's one of the keys.
Well, in this ballpark, anybody who walks up to the plate can hit it out. So you don't have to go out necessarily and get big, strong sluggers. You can get guys who can make contact, because if they get it up in the air, it's out of here. But the main thing is having the ability to manufacture runs against good pitching. You're not going to hit a lot of home runs against good pitchers. And even when you pitch and you want a Cy Young and they eat. I know one thing, that the guys who made contact, you'd rather pitch to a lot of the big, strong guys than the guys who made contact.
Oh, if you can get a guy out in front of your breaking ball, that's the guy that you live for.
Yeah. Alexei pops it up right side. Castro making the call. Drops the ball. And now Alexei gets caught. He was just ambling around second base. And they're going to get it.
Well, it's going to go E4 to account for getting to first base. And one hand doesn't squeeze it, but Alexei, not real heads up, essentially runs right into the out.
You got to do one of two things on that. That was a high pop-up. And with his speed, you either got to bust it all the way and try to get into second in case he does. But you can see he's just ambling towards second base there.
He conceded the out and the catch.
So he got himself out in no man's land, and you couldn't do anything about it. You either bust it hard all the way, or else you amble like he was doing and go to first base and stay close.
If you bust it hard, what you should do, he's standing at second base.
Should be. Yep. As Nix drills that one into, and now that play, room's leaving a little larger.
That is one thing that Ozzie is not going to tolerate. You make physical errors, he's going to tell you that we have to play better defense, but he's not going to get on you for physical errors. He is going to get on you in a hurry for lack of hustle and mental errors.
Well, that wasn't lack of hustle. That's just not knowing what to do. That's just a mental mistake. That's all that was. He upset maybe that he popped it up, had a decent pitch to hit, not thinking about it, which in turn is a mental mistake. So Pods went out to deep center his first trip. Nix 8 for 8 in stolen bases. And you got Pods at the plate. Turn him loose. That's up high. When Buck's healthy, he can get it down there in a hurry.
He does have a strong arm, but occasionally has a very long delivery.
This pitch here will probably determine if he's going to be running the next pitch or not. Ozzie might just take him right now. There he goes. And there's that long arm delivery. And Jason is now 9 for 9.
Even though Mesh is fairly quick and Buck has a strong arm, if you take a bit to deliver it with a long arm swing, you allow that base runner another couple of steps. And that's really all it took. You got the hand in ahead of the tag. Betancourt thought he had him, but good call by Marty Foster. Head first dive. The hand got in. He tagged him on the elbow.
So 2 out and the 2-1 pitch. Beckham on deck.
And this is where Scott's been so good this year, because if he can guess fastball, he's taking it right back up the middle or hit it awfully hard.
Look at the Kansas City sets, boy, last night and already in this ball game, very short.
It's surprising to me because the ball is carrying so much. Now, it almost paid off last night, but Meyer juggled the ball on the Rios play.
And there's ball 4. So Mesh wanted to take a shot with Beckham rather than get a little feisty right there with the hot Poseidon.
I think Mesh might be, in his mind's eye, looking at last night where Gordon Beckham just failed to pick up Brian Bannister. I mean, for whatever reason, he didn't see the ball all night. But that's not been the Gordon Beckham that we've seen this year.
No.
And Mesh might be in a little trouble here.
Gordon walked last inning. Breaking ball, no. And regardless of what happens in this inning, he's thrown a lot of pitches. The next one will be number 37 here in an inning and 2/3.
This is only his second start back from the disabled list, so it's not unlimited pitching for Mesh. I doubt if he's going to go much over 90, 95 pitches.
And the count 2-0 with Jermaine Dye on deck.
Buck goes out to have a word with him. Book a White Sox group outing or party area today. Save on each ticket for a group of 20 or more fans, whether it's the warning track, fan deck, or individual game diamond suites. They're all available. To book a group outing or party area, call 312-674-1000 or visit whitesox.com.
Two on, 2 out, the 2-0. And it's 3-0. We talk so much about what we think Beckham is going to evolve into. One thing we never talked about, here's a guy that's going to walk 100 times a year as well.
He's got a very good eye, and one day in not too distant future, they'll turn him loose 3-0 most of the time. This might not be the time, however, as he's still a very young hitter.
From what I've seen of him,
You turn him loose now?
I'd just soon have him hitting 3-0 as anybody on our ball club. Because I don't think he takes that 3-0 hit sign as the 3-0 swing sign. That was his eye.
Oh, and that's pretty important because that's what people don't understand. You get the 3-0 green light. If you don't get a pitch in a specific zone, there's no reason to swing at it just because you have a 3-0 green light.
Here's Jermaine. Hit the ball hard into a 6-4. fielder's choice, but takes that curveball for a strike. Beckham went in. Callaspo saw him coming in close on him. Went in hard. Callaspo made an errant throw that Butler could not control. Extended the inning, and we got a run. Gap out there in left center.
Pretty good speed on the base path.
Some of the best we got. And the ball back. Oh, it came up on him. Came up for him. If it stays down, it's going to be a tough play, but it came up with that Bolingbrook bounce, and that'll retire the side. We'll go to the third. It is still 1-0 good guys.
States hockey team, and this is Ron Wilson, the coach, and Dustin Bufflin, of course, of the Chicago Blackhawks. And Ron, tell us a little bit about the Olympic program and the orientation you're going through.
Well, we're here for 3 days, essentially to do a few things on the ice, get the players acquainted with each other, because we've got players from all the teams in the NHL, and surprisingly, I'd say they know 25% of each other personally. And what we're also trying to do is have them really understand what the Olympic movement is, what's expected of them. We want to win a gold medal this year, and at the same time they're learning about the USADA drug testing program and putting in place all the things that you need to do to make sure your family's taken care of, so that they just have to worry about playing and winning the gold medal.
And Dustin, how exciting is this for you? I know it was a great year last year for you guys, but now you're playing with the best of the best.
It's amazing. It's never thought a thing like this would come true, and it's something that I'm going to sit and worship for a while and think about the days that I thought about coming here, and it's actually come true now.
And Coach, how difficult is it to take all of these guys who are from different organizations and different systems and meld them together as one?
Well, the fun part, or the easy part for me, is generally in the NHL everybody plays a similar system, so we've just got to tweak a few things, but our preparation is not going to be well, we don't have any preparation other than what we're doing here. We'll have maybe one practice before the games start. Essentially, these guys, they have to get to know each other, learn about me and my assistant coaches, so that we have a real bond of trust and we build a team that way. That's why the involvement of some of these war heroes that we've had over the last couple of days is so important about teamwork.
Well, I know I speak for everybody associated with the Chicago White Sox when I wish you guys well, and bring home the gold for us.
We will, and we wish the White Sox well as well.
Dustin, thank you very much, and have a very good year with the Blackhawks this coming year.
All right, we'll do so.
Thank you.
Except against Toronto.
We'll have to work on that one.
Ron Wilson, Dustin Bufflin.
One out here in the top of the third inning. DeJesus had grounded out to second. Here's the hitter. Good luck, Coach. Go get him, buddy. Dustin, have a good one, buddy. All right. 1-0 the count. One 3-0 for our guys. 0-1-1 for their guys. And Dustin's a big man.
He's a very big man.
He is wide. That's what you call a wide body right there.
Put him on a pair of skates, and he can obscure the net for you.
Well, he's about Mario size, Lemieux size. People don't realize how big Lemieux is. He's a monster. Big old wide shoulders. 2 balls and a strike. Some of my favorite people, hockey players. Well, they're great guys.
They're terrific guys.
There's the strike. In fact, when I was playing with the Red Sox, I actually hung out more with the Bruins than I did with the Red Sox.
You guys had very close-knit. Boston always had,
yes.
and still does have close-knit.
Yes. All 14.
Yeah. Athletes hang out together.
Yeah. Nice snap right there by Freddie. 2 down. Well, I'll tell you what, there's a similar situation here in Chicago, which is, this is unusual, you know, having the Sox. The Cubs, you know, make it a little different because it's 2-team city in baseball. But the Blackhawks, the Bulls, yeah, there's a good relationship here. You can't say that too much in New York.
Completely different.
I saw. We were at Laughs. Remember Mr. Laughs in New York?
Yes. I heard about it, certainly.
Yeah. And there's a line drive by Bloomquist, so he continues to hit the ball hard. Only 1 for 5 last night, but hit a couple of line drives. He's already hit 2 in this ball game, so a 2-out single. So we were at Laughs one night, and they had some Giants in there and some Jets. And the Jets had a defensive back from USC. I can't remember his name. If I said it, you would. And he wanted to prove how tough he was, so he took a glass and he took a bite out of it right in front of a table of Giants.
That's good.
They just stood there and started laughing at him. His blood was running out.
You might be tough, but you're not too smart.
That's right. Butler had a double down into the right field corner. That was his 39th two-bagger. Outfield spread out slightly to the right. There's the strike, and Bloomquist, well, he is 18 for 22 in stolen bases.
I don't really care for that fake move. If you're going to go, go. And if you're not, that fake move just stops you, and you get no momentum because you're looking in at the pitch and you're stationary.
Well, it's going to cost you a couple of steps on an extra base hit.
This is just some wasted motion because he stopped and heads back. So on a base hit or a ball that splits the gap, you don't have any momentum, and it could very well cost you a run.
In years past, runners were not allowed to do that.
Well, a lot of times, from a hitting standpoint, you see motion, especially on the first pitch, and you think about maybe taking it, especially with a base runner. I mean, a guy who's capable of stealing a lot of bases, and Bloomquist is.
There he goes. And that got A.J. Now he's going to take it back. Interference.
Right. And A.J. went up to throw, and he looked at Wally Bell, and he's going to send Bloomquist back to first base. Take a look at it. And AJ's getting ready to throw, and he gets hit right in the back with the backswing of Butler. And that can't feel too good.
No.
That's a really long backswing. He let the bat go, and now Hermie wants to talk with AJ. He got hit solidly in the back.
Well, AJ is going to be all right. He is used to taking beating, and he is a very, very tough guy.
You know, I've seen catchers of obviously all shapes and sizes. The big guys like AJ falls into that mode. The little guys like Russell Martin, Pudge Rodriguez. But the one thing they all have in common is they're all tough guys, or they wouldn't be back there, because it doesn't matter how big or small or how wide or thin you are going to take a beating.
One and two the count. Play him another one. Take a little off on a breaking ball. Keep it down. AJ, a nice block.
I'd be sending Bloomquist here. See what Trey Hillman has in mind.
There he goes. And that pitch fouled back. He had a better jump right there than he did on the previous jump.
Yeah, he spun his wheels. In fact, it looked to me like if AJ had been able to go through unimpeded, he might have thrown him out last time. This time he didn't spin his wheels.
That was clean.
But the ball is fouled off.
Freddie has thrown 55 pitches through 2 2/3. There he goes again. Another good jump, and that's a fair ball. So Bloomquist being waved around, and he's going to score on the double by Butler, his 40th two-bagger.
RBI number 63, and that was a line drive rocket down the line. No chance at all for Beckham. This ball just hangs on the inner portion, and Billy Butler crushes it. He hits the ball about as hard as anybody in the league consistently.
So here is Mike Jacobs. He fouled out to Gordon Beckham down the left field foul area. Gordon taking it, going away from home plate. Jacobs last year, 31 home runs for the Marlins. That's outside.
It's one of the reasons why Kansas City traded for him, because they had Jose Guillen, they had Billy Butler, an emerging power hitter, but they didn't have much thunder from the left side of the plate.
32 homers last year with 93 ribbies.
And they thought Jacobs would provide that consistently.
If you're going to average 30 home runs a year in that ballpark at Kauffman Stadium, you're a little something special.
He's always had tremendous power. He came up 1999, signed by the New York Mets, 38th round draft choice.
That's top foul. Well, there's a couple of 38th round draft choices in this ballpark tonight who have been pretty successful.
One of them's a pretty good pitcher.
Yeah. In fact, he just had a perfect game.
And that, of course, is a man who hovers around 40 over 500, Mark Burley, 38th round.
That's high and wide, full count with Callaspo on deck.
What Kansas City did do was by acquiring Jacobs, they weakened their bullpen because they gave up a pretty good one in Leo Nunez.
Yeah, Nunez, a lanky right-hander with a good arm. So the payoff pitch to Jacobs. High pop up. Alexei making the call. Got the ball, and that'll retire the side. But with 2 out, the single by Bloomquist, he takes off. Butler knocks him in with a double. Is tied at 1. We got ourselves a 1-1 tie here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. It'll be Konerko, Pierzynski, and Quentin to face the 30-year-old, soon to be 31, right-hander Gil Mesh. Pauly broke that 0 for 23 with a solid base hit in the 1st inning. And that helped contribute to that run. There's a breaking ball strike.
Well, the irony tonight of Mesh going against Rios in his ballpark is that Dayton Moore apparently had some conversations as it pertained to a trade with Gil Mesh for Alex Rios. That didn't come to pass, of course.
That ball hit hard into the gap. Nobody's going to get that one. Stretch. Get up. You can put it on the board. Yes. Just a rocket out of here to right center field in the bleachers, and the Sox lead it 2-1.
Apparently the slump is over. 22 and 71 on the power numbers, and that was a line drive rocket to right center field. Wind or no wind, that one was going out of the ballpark in the Ford home run replay. It's a fastball on the outer third. A ball who would single to left center hits it out of the park in right center.
Yes, when Pauly is hitting line drives to right center, he becomes very dangerous. AJ, big 2-out RBI single in the 1st inning. Back to the middle base hit.
This is your chance to win a Paul Konerko jersey and tell the White Sox what you think. Simply log on to your computer and take a quick survey. Your answers, of course, are confidential. Visit whitesox.com/survey, but you must complete the survey before tonight's game ends. It looks to me, Hawk, like Beckham's 2 walks really jump-started this offense.
Good hitters take their walks. Charlie. Charlie Wilson, protege. There's Carlos. Carlos hit the ball hard into a 6-4 fielder's choice to end the first inning. Carlos looking for his first hit against Gomez. And there it is. Stay in the air. You can put it on the ball. Yes. A 2-run shot. It is 4-1. Good guys. Money's happy.
And 31 in the power numbers for Carlos Quentin. Another line drive rocket out of the ballpark, and once again the wind didn't help that one. Our Ford home run replay. This is another fastball. It's down, it's out over the plate, and it's gone in a heartbeat.
Short, quick, and powerful. Alex takes a curveball strike. And the count 1-1. Let's take another look at that side shot of Carlos Quentin's swing. Watch his right leg. His right leg. One of the best right legs, one of the best launch angles, maintains it. As there's a bullet. Stay fair. Oh, man.
Not by much. That ball was just foul as Mark Carlson, the first base umpire, followed it down the line. And that's Carlos at his most excited.
We got 2 guys in White Sox uniforms tonight of that ilk.
Harold also got that excited after he hit.
Bainsy and Carlos, the same demeanor. Oh, you got a hanger right there, just foul. And of course, with those 2 home runs by Konerko and now Quentin, the Alex Nelius family will donate $100 to White Sox charities for every Sox homer hit throughout the course of the season. That's number 143 and 44, so $14,400 donated by Alex Nelius in loving memory of Ursula.
Coming into this game, Mesh had not really allowed a lot of home runs, just 12 in 113 innings. 2 here tonight in 2+ innings. And Hermie is rubbing out that spot that AJ got hit by a bat. Roger Bossard right next to him, waiting for his cake.
He won't leave till he gets it. That ball hit hard into the hole, backhanded by Unieski. Betancourt throws him out. 1 down. For all the athletes that I've ever seen and known, AJ can play through as much pain as anybody I've ever seen. And I mean, he's been like that since he was in high school, as that ball hit hard.
I just think it's a very good characteristic to have if you're going to catch. You learn at a very young age that foul tips off your shoulders or off your feet don't feel real good, and yet they ask you to handle the pitching staff, to understand each and every one of the opposing hitters, and to hit yourself.
Watch out, Stone Pony.
No, that one I had, Hawk.
Yeah, you did. I saw you. You're in good shape to get it.
I thought as long as that one was going to miss by 3 feet, I was in good shape to get it.
Yep. Now, if it'd been 3 feet over.
Now we get a different start. Now that we start the bailout.
And there's a base hit back to the middle. Another breaking ball.
One thing they don't have much of with Betancourt and Cayaspo is real good range in the middle infield. Bob McClure sitting next to Trey Hillman, manager and pitching coach of this Royals team. They said they felt their team would be much better than it is, but Hawk, they've allowed 50% of inherited base runners to score. 50%. That's worst in the major leagues.
I guess.
And when you do that, you get virtually no chance of success.
No. Well, but no, I'm not that familiar with a particular stat. But at the times that I have heard it, that's by far and away, by far, the most I've ever heard of.
Well, they're 46 and 72 because of that stat.
There's a strike. Jason had a solid single back in the second inning.
Well, Josh Beckett was going to the mound for Boston tonight, and those are games he figured to win. But he's given up 7 to Toronto and a 7-7 tie in Toronto.
One and one to count. And of course, Texas beating Minnesota 5-0 down at Arlington.
Texas has been red hot. Right now, you do not want to play Texas.
They have the same kind of attitude right now that Tampa Bay had last season.
There's no doubt that pitching staff is so much better under Mike Maddox. I don't know how in the world Milwaukee let him get away.
Well, you told me in spring training that Texas had some good arms. He said they might be a sleeper because of Mike Maddox.
I think that was probably the biggest acquisition that they made out of all the guys they brought in. It was Mike Maddox, and I mean, he left. He got a good deal of money for a pitching coach, but compared to players, it was minuscule, and Milwaukee let him go, and their staff looks real good.
Pitch out, nothing on, 2-1. Randy Ruiz has hit a home run off AJ in that game. He's got 3 home runs for the Blue Jays since being called up when we got him off waivers. They called him up from Las Vegas, a kid named Randy Ruiz. He hit his first one off Chamberlain. He hit his second one off Burnett. And he's got another one off him tonight. Beckett tonight, rather. That's 3 pretty good ones.
If you're going to get 3 home runs, those are pretty good pitchers to get them off of. That will probably convince the management to allow him to get a longer look.
Oh, I think that's going to happen. That ball hit deep. Stay fair. Stay fair. There again, that 1/30th of a second.
Well, that ball stayed fair a long time before just hooking in front of the pole. A fastball that Mesh tries to get inside on Nix, whose hands are really quick. And unfortunately, it was well far enough, but just foul.
And the payoff pitch. There goes Alexei, and that ball into right field. And let's take another look at that 3-1 swing and what Stone Pony was talking about, pulling his hands in. Quick hands, and still gets to pull them in. Location, the fastball inside. That's a terrific job right there of hitting it hard and almost keeping it fair.
Well, also on a pitch that was probably inside off the plate, he was able to get
the ball was inside.
The good part of the bat on it, which a lot of guys can't do.
No, a lot of guys cannot. They'll lick their thumbnails up on that one. Yeah, when you can take a fastball that's inside, off the plate, hit it that hard, and just miss it. Again, 1/30th of a second. Big gap out there in right center for Pods, who has gone out deep to center, and he has walked.
Well, you've seen, I'm sure, some hitters, Hawk, that can take that same pitch, keep it fair. The two best I've ever seen, Gary Sheffield, Ryan Sandberg, could take that pitch, hit it down the line, it would never hook. It would stay right there, go out of the ballpark fair.
Sandberg's in my top 5.
He's very good at it.
There's a strike. The best at it, though, was no question about it. By far, was Bad Henry.
He hit him to a lot of parts of the park, but he was able to take it down the line.
755.
Yeah.
Henry Aaron could take that fastball right there and kill it, hit it out of here, and keep it way fair. There's a line shot right to Betancourt. But a solo homer by Konerko, a 2-run blast by Quentin. Sox lead at 4-1. Couple of home runs, one by Konerko, a solo shot, 2-run blast by Quentin. And there is ground ball. Paulie going to make that play off Cayaspo. 1 out.
And here's our Aflac trivia question.
Aflac!
Cue the duck. Who are the 2 Royals players that have won AL Rookie of the Year in the last 10 years?
For Roja, Angel, a shortstop. And the next year is in the minor leagues.
They just sent out a guy who's going to be pretty good to the minor leagues today, Alex Gordon.
Alex Gordon's got a chance to be a stud.
They sent him down to get a little more work coming back from hip surgery, and they wanted him to get that swing groove.
His defense has improved immeasurably since he came up at third base. He's got a very, not a gun, but a very strong throwing arm. And he's got unbelievable power. And he doesn't have a big swing.
Eventually he's going to be a real good one. And right now the defense is a bit of a work in progress.
That ball into the gap. And nobody's going to get that one. So Tien with the ground rule double. That's his 29th two-bagger.
You get the feeling with the pitch mark as it is here in the 4th inning, this is going to be a night for DJ Carrasco. That's a low fastball, actually a good pitcher's pitch, sinking away from Tien, and he just drills it into the gap.
Well, I've had several people, a couple of writers ask me the last couple of days about why don't they move Carrasco to the back end of the bullpen. Well, you don't want. Carrasco has done such a fantastic job overall. And that job over the years has evolved into one of the most important in your bullpen as the first man out because of the offenses the way they are.
Well, also, he's a guy that a lot of times has to eat up 2 1/3, 2 2/3 innings, and DJ has done just a great job of it.
And you don't mess with a guy like that. You leave him alone. I mean, even though he wants to start and everything, you just leave him alone, let him do his thing.
That last 15, Meyer's been pretty good. That's one of the things that Trey Hillman said before the game when he was talking about Meyer, is that he's just starting to figure it out as an offensive player. Now, he doesn't have big power, so he's going to have to do it as a center fielder if he's going to do it.
Well, he's 27 years old. Former #1 pick. He's a big guy. Just off the corner. Close pitch, didn't get it. But it was outside. And a full count. 4-7-0 if you're just tuning in for our Sox. 1-4-1 for their Royals. We're in the top of the 4th inning. And Freddie, after 3 1/3, this will be a 72nd pitch. And another souvenir.
Now, Freddie's going to get the occasional strikeout, but one of the big differences in Freddie during some great years, and of course in the postseason in 05, he was absolutely magnificent. But he doesn't have that put away pitch, and so because of that, he is going to pile up the pitches.
No, when he finished up before he went to Philly from us, when he won 17 games, he had this. He had that splitter. And it was really good. Didn't throw hard, but he had that put away pitch. He gone. Nice breaking ball starting from the outside. Little backdoor action.
AJ just kind of nestles it over the outside corner, and Wally Bell obliges by calling him out.
So here's Buck. He was the first strikeout victim for Freddie. Deep in the left field. And we have ourselves a 4-3 ball game.
That looked like a hanging breaking ball, and it turns into home run number 5. RBI is 26 and 27. 11th career home run against the Sox for John Buck. Originally came out of the Houston organization. The Ford home run replay, some sort of off-speed pitch.
Yeah, it was a hanger. A lot of guys are going to hit that one out. As here's Betancourt. Pops it up. Gordon backpedaling, and Lexay calls him off, makes the catch, and that'll retire the side. But the hanging breaking ball from Freddie to Buck, not good. And after 3.5, we lead it by 1.
Players who have won AL Rookie of the Year in the last 10 years, and the answer: Carlos Beltran, 1999, Angel Baroa, 2003.
Beckham, Dye, and Canerco. Gordon has been to the plate twice, walked twice against Gil Mesh. Ball hit high and deep down the right side into the seats for a souvenir. Well, since Gordon has been in that 2-hole in 19 games that he's been hitting number 2, he's knocked in 14 RBIs. Couldn't pull the trigger on that one, and takes the strike. 1-2 the count. Coming back in, hits it.
Well, that got him pretty good too in the left arm, and hopefully it was above the left elbow as Gordon just trots to first base.
He's a bulldog.
And that's going to be singing to him for a while.
Yeah.
That got him above the elbow.
Yeah.
Does your hand go numb when you get hit there?
Immediately. In fact, it goes numb just before you get hit. Because you know
it's coming and you can't get out of the way.
Get out of the way.
That ball was following him.
Jermaine twice has hit the ball to Betancourt. Takes a breaking ball strike. And if you're wondering at home about that, Mesh was not trying to hit Gordon Beckham.
The last thing you want to do when your team has just gotten you within 1 is hit the number 2 hitter ahead of some guys in the middle who are having a good year and a particularly good night.
Especially when he's leading off the inning. Outfield, they're spread out fairly deep. Nice pick right there by Tian. Gets up, runs over, and gets him a good play. by Tien, who was in right field last night.
Very good effort by Mark Tien, who was well off the line. This ball down the line. And he knows he has just one plate at the first base, doesn't even look at second, and pours it across. So we've seen Tien at 2 different positions in 2 nights. We've seen Bloomquist in 2 nights at 3 different positions.
So here's Paulie. He is 2 for 2. A solid single in the first, and just a bullet out of here to right center field for his 22nd homer. Breaking ball. Betancourt.
Tee off with current and former White Sox team members, sports celebrities, and media personalities at Harborside International Golf Center for the annual Chicago White Sox Charities Field of Greens golf outing presented by Miller Lite. That's Thursday, August 20th. For more information or to book a foursome, call 312-674-1000 or visit whitesox.com. I'm going to play in that, and I'm looking forward to it.
Here's AJ. AJ is 2 for 2 with an RBI and a run scored. Hitting a .317 as he stands up to that dish. Takes that one digging inside on it. Another big crowd on hand. 36,703 last evening.
Looks like could be more of the same here tonight.
Yeah. AJ trying to put the steering wheel on that one into left center.
Both pitchers seeing their pitches pile up. We're now through the 4th and meshes at 80 pitches. And again, this being just his 2nd start back from the disabled list. We'll see how long he's allowed to go.
The 2-1. Chopper 2 hopper. And that'll retire the side. We'll go to the 5th, leading by 1.
If you can't watch your White Sox on Comcast Sportsnet, you can always catch the game on your computer with MLB.tv. It's the ultimate baseball experience featuring 100 out-of-market games a week live on your computer. For more details, visit whitesox.com, where baseball is always on.
Top of the order for the Royals here in their half of the 5th inning. DeJesus, Bloomquist, and Butler to face. Freddie Garcia takes first pitch strike. Does DeJesus, who is grounded to second, and bounced back pretty hard to Freddie. One and one to count.
And Detroit is leading Seattle 4-3. That's fairly late in that one.
That's at Comerica Park.
And if you missed it, Detroit picked up Aubrey Huff in a deal today with Baltimore. Huff with 72 runs driven in, so he will help that offense somewhat.
Bottom of the 4th in Texas, 5-1 Rangers over Minnesota. As there's another souvenir left side. Two balls, two strikes. Finale tomorrow afternoon. Make your plans to be here with us. Jose Contreras against Zach Greinke. Then we'll have an off day on Thursday. Then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Orioles come to town. We're going to run Floyd, Danks, and Burley against them. As you check out the rest of our schedule. Orioles are going to run Guthrie, Hernandez, and Birkin. Now that game tomorrow. Can't make it to the ballpark. We'll be right here over Comcast Sportsnet. Payoff. Paulie takes a nice little bowling book bounce for him. One out, and that'll bring up Bloomquist, who is lined hard to center, and he is singled hard and scored to right.
You can see the 3rd inning was a tough one. He'd like to get out of this with a minimum of pitches. This will be his 83rd delivery.
And it's a ball. He did not go. And the count 2-0.
Randy Williams throwing in the pen. We do know that Freddie's not going to be allowed to throw much over 100 pitches tonight.
And grabs the strike right there. Count 2-1. Ball has some nice sinkage on it. Evens at 2. Billy Butler on deck. Butler is 2 for 2 in this game, a couple of doubles and an RBI. You want to keep Bloomquist. You want to get this man. But he knocks it down, bounces away. Bloomquist. Too much speed and a nice play by Konerko. That'll be an infield single.
And a good play by Paul, because once that ball bounded that far away from Freddie, there's no reason to throw it. Bloomquist runs real well, and Freddie had no chance to get it. This is a play that he would be the first to tell you he should have made, but didn't. And right here, you almost make a real bad mistake. Freddie knows that he should have caught that one. Now he's looking for the double play ground ball.
And we'll see when if Bloomquist wants to take off right away. Beckham back off the line at third. Outfield slightly to the right. Bit of a gap in left center. When you get a guy like Freddie Garcia, if you're a base runner and you've got decent speed and you can steal a base, certainly Bloomquist has better than decent speed. The best thing for you as a runner is to have him throw over there a few times. If you just get a better timing on it. Big rip by Butler trying to take that one in the right center. The worst thing for you as a runner is just to have him vary his holding time on the ball and never throw over there.
Well, I think Trey Hillman probably felt that the first pitch was a good pitch to pitch out, especially with the control of Freddie Garcia. He's walked just one tonight. That's John Gibbons, the bench coach, former manager of the Blue Jays.
Now, there are always exceptions to every rule in baseball, and one of the exceptions was the greatest base stealer in the history of the game. Before Ricky shortened his lead up and started getting just a walking momentum towards second, when he used to get the big lead at first, you could absolutely deter his base stealing by throwing over there 5 or 6 straight times and having him go back head first into the base.
He kept on diving back,
Exactly.
and eventually you got to catch your breath sometime.
And that would stop him. I remember in Oakland when Ricky was going for one of the records out there. Ron Carcavise was our catcher. Carc could throw. As the count moves to 1-2, didn't have the strongest throwing arm velocity-wise, but he had the quickest release and get it down to second base of almost anybody in the league. And he threw out Ricky twice in one game.
That was a good trick.
Yeah.
You have to have a little help from your pitcher also. He's got to deliver that
do
ball
it
quickly.
with Freddie
No.
or Jose.
No. Probably not. Although you might get Ricky now, but then again, I doubt that also.
Me too.
Yeah.
One out. There he goes. And that ball into the gap. That's going to be at least another double. And we're going to have ourselves a tie ball game. So they made another bad pitch right there on Butler. Made a mistake, and Butler made him pay. 4-4 tie.
Third double. And he's got one every other inning. First, third, and fifth. Driven in 64 runs. Freddie knows he left one up in the zone.
Another hanger.
It's a hanging breaking ball, and you don't have to be Billy Butler to take advantage of these. And here comes Ozzie at the 91 pitch mark, and that's going to be it for Freddie Garcia.
Yeah, he got underneath a couple of breaking balls that really hurt him. The one to Buck for the 2-run homer. And certainly that one right there to Butler. So Freddie Garcia departs, and we'll be back.
first 25,000 fans in attendance at each home game will receive a Mighty Bites game card. Buy any Mighty Bites product and get one free at participating local retailers. So Randy Williams comes into this one. Williams, 2.70 ERA, on for the 8th time. He inherits Butler at second base. One out here in a 4-4 tie in the top of the 5th inning, and there you look at some pretty good numbers.
Mike Jacobs takes it outside. He is fouled out on a good catch to third base to Beckham. And he has popped up to Alexa. Goes through that one. Big hit. No contact. Outfield there straight up. For Jacobs. Ground ball. Get over there, Randy. Good feed by Paulie. 2 down.
Detroit is leading by a pair, and Fernando Rodney is trying to nail it down in the top of the 9th inning. It's a 5-3 game in favor of Detroit over Seattle.
So here's a tough little customer, at least against us, Diaspo.
He'll turn around and hit from the right side. And he's a much tougher hitter as a right-hand hitter. 370 as opposed to 258 as a left-hand hitter. But this is his good side by far.
Diaspo this year hitting .382 against us with a homer and 6 RBIs. He is 13 for 34 coming into this ball game. Now it's a 5-4 Kansas City lead.
Diaspo switches around hitting from the right side and promptly drives it through the left side. And the night is done for Freddie Garcia. 4 1/3 innings, 5 runs on 7 hits, a walk and 3 strikeouts, and he's the pitcher of record. But there's a long way to go in this one.
Mark Tien, he's 1 for 2, a double and a run scored. Takes ball 1. High pop up. Alex takes charge. Rios makes the catch, and it'll retire the side, but a couple cross the plate. Halfway home, we trail it 5-4. All right, Chuck, thank you very much. Quentin, Rios, and Ramirez to face Gil Mesh. That's outside. Carlos 1 for 2, a 2-run homer. Back in the third inning. 5-8-1 for them, 4-7-0 for us. And if you missed that home run back in the third, poof. AJ aboard.
That's a fastball and a 2-run rocket. Pitch number 80 for Gil Mesh. And just his second start back from the disabled list. Looks like he's starting to aim the ball a bit.
3-0 the count.
Good time to jump on it.
And that's ball 4. So the leadoff walk. And here comes Alex. 4th walk issued by Mesh.
Xavier Dotel throwing in the bullpen. Looks like that Kansas City pen is starting to stretch, although nobody is throwing yet.
Alex struck out and grounded to short. Just a short lead by Carlos. And there's ball 1. So 5 in a row off the mark.
If I'm Bob McClure, I'm a little concerned about Gil Mesh here. On Ozzie Guillen, I'm pretty happy he's still in the game. And the bullpen now is starting to work for Kansas City.
Good check. And the count 2-0.
Robinson Tejada loosening up as Bob McClure comes out to spend some time to allow Tejada to get loose. And 6 straight bad ones from Mesh, who seems to have hit the wall.
How many times in your career did you have a lead going to the bottom of the 5th? When you're on pitching on the road, you hit a wall and told the pitching coach, I'm out of gas.
Never.
Never. Not with a backhoe.
In fact, I remember a lead, and Bob Watson hit a 1-hopper off my leg that almost took my leg off. I had 2 outs in the 5th inning. I wouldn't come out of the game.
Oh.
Next pitch went out of the park. I was losing by 1.
And the count 3-0. There's a strike. Keyhole him right here.
You gotta
zone him in, reel him in, and light him up.
You got to be thinking that Mets going to throw a fastball here.
Big rip. Just took his head off just a hair too quick.
Well, he got that fastball. Not a whole lot on it. It's 90 miles an hour. This was a guy that, before his back started bothering him, was consistently in the mid-90s. And he fouled that one straight back.
All 4 base hit. Fires that one into one of the super suites. Up above the LG Skyline club seats. And once again the payoff pitch. There he goes. And look at this. Is that sweet or is that nice? That's sweet. First and third, nobody out.
Carlos did a nice job of locating the baseball. He was going, and he saw Callaspo covering the bag, and then he heard the contact and realized that ball was behind him. Kept on going to third. Through the vacated right side as Callaspo goes to cover the bag. Nobody home. Carlos picks it up, and Mesh is in some big trouble.
And Buck's trying to kill a little time out there.
Yeah, Gill doesn't have a whole lot left.
Buck very deliberately back behind the plate. And Alexei Ramirez steps into the box. Come on, Alexei. Right man, right spot, right time, right now. Alex, just a decent lead. As that cutter off the plate.
And Detroit did hold on and defeated Seattle 5-3.
Now a little bigger lead by Rios. Watch out. Nice gap out there in left center. Alex now with the same lead, a little bigger. And the count 2-0. Alexei is 1 for 2, had a single back in the third inning. He's now 4 for 13 lifetime off Mesh.
And if this one is close, I'd say is probably going to crush it.
High in the right field. Willie Bloomquist as Carlos is going to come. Here's the throw. It's a good one.
Nice throw by Bloomquist. And Hawk, you were talking about this type of play the other day, and you said if you're going to miss up the third base line because you've got a shot. And Bloomquist doesn't have the greatest technique, but he gets the ball off, misses a touch up the third base line, and Carlos cannot knock the ball out of Buck's glove and it's a double play.
So a big break right there from Mesh. As here is Jason Nix, who is 1 for 2. That was a beautiful peg right there from Bloomquist. And thinking, if you're sitting at home saying, well, he wasn't that deep, it was medium depth, just maybe a couple steps shy of medium depth. But if you're sitting there thinking at home, why did he try it with nobody out? And the reason being, well, he was at second base and third last night, a shortstop.
Yeah, I mean, he's an infielder by trade. So now you have him playing in right field.
And you roll the dice.
He showed pretty decent arm.
There goes Alex. Buck, watch out. It's into center field. So Rios picks up his 20th stolen base in 23 attempts. The stolen base, E2, 6th error on Buck.
And that one almost took off Alex's head. This ball is nowhere near the bag as Buck doesn't get a grip on it. And fortunately, it sails over Rios's head.
Now Tien moving back, way back at third. One-0 pitch. Just the floater coming up there, and a count 2-0. And the count 3-0. Scotty Pod's on deck.
I know you'd give the 3-0 green light here.
I would. And that's ball 4. 5th walk. Now once again Buck out to the bump. Scotty Potts is 0 for 2 with a base on balls.
You've been talking with Hillman, and this team wasn't deeply in last place. I don't believe he would allow Gilmish to complete this inning, but he's trying to nurse him through the 5th here and trying to come out with the lead.
Well, he's a 5-1 favorite not to start the 6th.
Well, I think it's a lot.
You're one of those chalk guys, huh?
Well, yeah, I think you could bet the ranch on that one.
Good speed at first. Good speed at third. Drops the hook on him. And the count 0-1. Pod's a good fastball hitter. Decent lead by Jason. One and one to count.
And Tian was back at third, so Scott showed bunt, thinking if he could lay one down, no way Tian could throw him out. And with the speed of Rios, he would have scored easily.
Now Tian comes in, about a step back. And that curveball misses. So they know Scotty Potts is a good fastball hitter. 3 breaking pitches in a row. Knowing that Potts at the plate, the fastball hitter, I wouldn't mind seeing Nix take off in one of those first 2 or 3 pitches. That's on the inside corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out runners at the corners, and a 5-4 Kansas City lead here in the bottom of the 5th. Got him. Up and in. And that'll retire the side. We have a big time threat here. Can't do anything with it. order. Buck to follow and Betancourt in the hole. Count evens at 1. And the count 1-2. Ray Contreras against Zach Greinke tomorrow afternoon, 1:05. Make your plans to be with us. He gone. Right on the outside edge of the outside corner.
Meyer didn't like it, and I think I can see why.
So here's Ozzie. Buck is 1 for 2 with a 2-run homer. Got a hanger from Freddie and didn't miss it. Ozzie slowly out to the mound as Randy Williams will depart. Dotel comes on in. News Nightly on Sports Night, presented by Dex. Coming up tonight after Sox Post Game Live, we'll have recaps from this game, plus Jake Peavy's second rehab start. Also, the Bears speak out on Brett Favre joining the Vikings. We'll join Pat and Mark for Sports Night, presented by Dex, tonight after Sox Post Game Live, only on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend.
David Dotel comes into this one at 2-3, ERA 2.72, on for the 50th time. 46 in the third, 37 hits. There you look at the numbers.
First pitch to Buck. Taken outside. And the count 2-0. Big hack, no contact. And the count's 3-1. No walks. Come back and get him. High pop up. Alexei. 2 down. Just tuning in. Sox with 1 in the first. Royals tied it up with 1 in the third. Sox came back with 3 in the bottom of the third. Solo homer by Konerko. 2-run blast by Carlos Quentin. And the Royals tacked on a 2 spot in the fourth, a 2 spot in the fifth. Betancourt takes ball 1. He has struck out and he has popped to his counterpart, Alexei. Nice, making his own hop. And that'll retire the side. We will go to the bottom of the 6th inning, trailing by 1.
AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. And Robinson Tejeda comes into the game. He's 1-1, ERA a touch under 5, on for the 26th time. 44 strikeouts in 34 1/3 innings. That's the good part. The 28 walks in the 34 1/3 innings is the bad part. So if you're patient, he will put you on base.
He's a big man, 6'3", 250 pounds, 27 years old, out of Bani in the Dominican Republic. San Pedro de Macorís, famous for all the players they put out, but Bani has put out a lot as well. So here we go. Beckham, Dye, and Konerko face the hard-throwing right-hander. Last night and tonight, Gordon just pulling his head off the ball a little bit, something he was not doing. He's perfect on the evening, 2 walks and was hit by a pitch. Right on the outside edge of the outside corner, and the count 0-2.
Appeal to Mark Carlson, and he said he did swing. We'll retire Beckham for the first time tonight from the side. We'll take a look. He went through the zone.
Yep. Looked like it real time. So here's Jermaine. Jermaine 0 for 3 tonight. Takes down low. Actually, he's swung the bat pretty well. Hit 2 balls pretty hard to the shortstop, and then hit one right down the third base line. The TN made a terrific play on it. And the count 2-0.
One of the things these Royals have shown us is that their players play just about everywhere. Callaspo, probably a better third baseman than a second baseman. He's at second tonight. Jesus can play just about anywhere. Bloomquist does play everywhere.
That 2-0 pitch right there. Maine either looking different location or a different pitch. Gap in left center. And the count 3-1. Tejada started off his career with the Phillies, went to Texas, and now Kansas City. He did not go. So the 1-out walk.
August 22nd at 6:05. It's the White Sox versus the Orioles. Fans will enjoy post-game fireworks presented by Van Kampen Investments.
Minnesota was trailing Texas 5-0. It is now 5-5 in the 6th inning. And here's Konerko, a single in the first, a homer in the third, and he grounded to short in the fourth. Recognize that pitch very quickly.
When you're averaging close to 11 strikeouts per 9 innings and have a 5.0 ERA, your control isn't too good.
No. Off-speed pitch. And the count evens at 1. Now, usually hard-throwing right-handers that don't have, as you mentioned, his control's not too good, they usually get hit pretty hard. Drops a pretty good breaking ball on him right there.
Well, that's 2 good breaking balls in a row. Jamie Wright loosening up in the pen. Sox pen quiet.
A ball hit into left center field. Here comes, he broke back, now recovers. Does DeJesus. Got it off the end of the bat. $28,812 in attendance. I should say paid. This was season ticket holder exchange night. That's the reason we have almost a full house.
I was going to say there was many more in attendance.
Yeah. So here's AJ. He's 2 for 3 with an RBI and a run scored. Checks it up. Buck blocks it. And the count 1-0. This offense we're running out there right now, they'll just keep coming at you. Does not necessarily need the home run to beat you. And that's popped up. That's going to be caught by DeJesus, who makes a nice sliding catch right there, and that'll retire the side. We're into the 7th. We need one to tie. At 12:30, Ozzy and our Sox wrap up this series with the Royals. And at 8:30, the Cubs are out west for a matchup with the Padres. So don't miss any of the action beginning tomorrow at 12:30 right here only on Comcast Sportsnet. 5 runs, 8 hits, 2 errors for Kansas City. 4 runs, 8 hits, no errors for our Sox during the top of the 7th inning.
It's a big inning for Dotel to get through because he's got to face the top of the order, and Bloomquist and Butler have 5 hits between them.
And have scored 3 of the 5 runs. DeJesus will lead it off. He's 0 for 3. Takes first pitch strike. One and one. Angels beat the Indians 5-4 at Progressive Field. Bottom of the 9th in Toronto. Boston leading Toronto 10-9. And the count's 3-1. We don't need any leadoff walks or walks of any kind.
Join the Sox for Elvis Night on Friday, August 21st. The first 500 fans to rock and roll over to Gate 1 by 6:30 p.m. in their best Elvis attire will be allowed to parade around the warning track. Stay after the game for a spectacular show featuring Jamie Aaron Kelly. Vegas-style showgirls and Elvis skydivers also will be around. Fireworks will be set to Elvis music. For tickets, call 866-SOX-GAME or visit whitesox.com.
And there are tickets available for that.
There are.
So Dotel in a whole bunch of trouble right here, walking the leadoff man as we trail at 5-4, top of the 7th.
The only real advantage is that DeJesus doesn't run real well.
Bloomquist is 2 for 3.
When you're only 4 out of 11 stolen bases, that's not too good.
Well, anytime you put yourself in a position to where as you're trailing by one, you walk the leadoff guy, one swing of the bat can put you 3 down. That's not good. There's a bunt. Kicks foul. Hits a seam of the grass. And the count will be 0-2.
As soon as that ball rolls foul, you have to grab it. And
he didn't.
Octavio just let it roll for a bit. And you never know, it hits something or spins in a strange way. But this ball right here, you got to touch it. For some reason, Octavio's jumping over the baseball.
That little divot he made with his cleats right there could have kicked it back left. Outfield there, virtually straight up and spread out. Got him on the outside corner. Lundqvist did not like that call. That was a pretty good pitch right there.
It's one big out.
That is a strike.
And that ball is certainly close enough where you have to swing to protect.
So here is the third place hitter, Billy Butler, who is 3 for 3 with 3 doubles, 2 RBIs and a run scored. He now has 41 doubles on the season. Just 23 years old. He's going to be a force to be reckoned with shortly. Well, he's a good one right now. Off the end of the bat. Jermaine is there. 2 down.
And we certainly know from last night that you've got to pitch Jacobs upstairs. He's been held in check tonight, but he's got big, big power.
He's fouled out to Beckham, popped up to Ramirez, and bounced out 3-1. Outfield a little bit deeper as there's first pitch strike. Those 41 doubles will move Butler into second place behind Brian Roberts of Baltimore, who started tonight with 45.
Especially when you consider that one guy is the switch hitting speed burner and the other guy is a very big man, and Billy Butler doesn't have great speed.
Almost threw it away. De Jesus of Kansas City leading this league in triples with 8. Swing. He was all over, just underneath it.
That one is not high enough. That's just below the belt. And fortunately, Jacobs, with a classic uppercut home run hitter's swing, fouled it straight back.
Two out. And the 0-2 pitch. He gone. So he pitches over the leadoff walk. 7th inning stretch. It is 5-4 Royals. Bottom of the 7th inning. Royals lead it 5-4. Carlos Quentin to lead it off. Robinson Tejeda. First pitch, breaking ball, strike. Another breaking ball. That was a Jim Dandy right there. Now he's got to battle his way out of this 0-2 count.
The only pitches he's been able to get over the plate consistently have been that slider and that short little breaking ball.
Lays off that one.
That's a hard slider at 85 miles an hour. Not the hardest we've seen, but certainly hard enough to get your attention if you keep it on the outside part of the plate.
It is with as much break as this guy. You don't mind a 90-mile-an-hour slider if it's a spiral.
No.
Little drop down fastball, misses up right there. So the count evens at 2. Alex Rios on deck.
Well, Carlos is not going to give any ground when a pitcher drops down. And for Tejeda, who's not used to doing that, you're not going to have much control when you do.
Yeah, it's inside at 94. Carlos now 1 for 3. That 2-run homer back in the 3rd.
White Sox premium seating auctions are the best way to secure great locations like box seats just behind the dugout, tables outside the Miller Lite Bullpen Sports Bar for every home game, and opening bids start as low as $55 a seat. Visit WhiteSox.com to place your bid now.
Here's Rios. He's 1 for 3 with a stolen base. Takes first pitch, strike.
Tejeda is pumping it up there. That was 95. And DJ Carrasco throwing in the pen.
Out of play right side, and the count 0-2.
There is DJ.
If you just tuned in, Freddie Garcia started this game. Freddie went 4 1/3, gave up 5 runs, earned on 7 hits. Made him a little bit of a mistake right there and got away with it. Alex has faced Tejeda 3 times. Is 0 for 3. So a couple of strikeouts.
You can understand why he's averaged 11 strikeouts per 9 innings. And if this guy could ever consistently get the ball over the plate, he would be a tremendous force out of that bullpen.
Well, the Rangers let him go on waivers to Kansas City.
Had no control.
A club will only go with you so long, especially if you're right-handed. Here's Alexei. He's 1 for 3. One and 0 the count. Alexei has faced him 5 times, has a couple of hits.
Well, if you have a healthy arm, if you're not injured and you have a good arm, there's always going to be a club that's going to take a chance on you.
That was just a straight changeup right there, had him out in front. Kansas City 1 in the 3rd, 2 in the 4th, 2 in the 5th. Sox 1 in the 1st, 3 in the 3rd. Outfield around to the right. Just a bit of a gap out there in left center. And the 1-2 pitch.
The outfield fairly deep all the way around. There you see Meyer, a couple of steps into right center.
And the count 2-2. The big White Sox hello goes out to Mr. David Kitransky. Skokie. He was a guest up here in the broadcast booth experience. Good to hear from you, David. Glad that surgery went well. And a full count.
And you'd like to see Alexei aboard with his speed for Jason Nix. Became an eyelash from hitting a home run earlier in this one.
Yeah. Right size, wrong shape. Payoff pitch. So he strikes out the side. He has 4 punch outs now in 2 innings, and we're into the 8th. All right, our Chuck, thank you very much. We're here in the 8th inning.
And DJ Carrasco comes into the game at 4-1, ERA 3.70, on for the 39th time. A very straightforward mission of holding these Royals right there and turn it over to the offense.
Callaspo is 1 for 3 with an RBI. That was the RBI that put the Royals on top, 5-4. That evens the count at 1.
And you'd love to get this one all square or go ahead before Soria can be a factor.
Get off the tarp, broken back, $95 bill shot, and the count 1-2. Top foul down past Rusty Kuntz, former Sox, the coach at first for Kansas City.
There's Rusty. He's been around a long time.
He should be. He's a good baseball man, a good person. Always an upper. And he gone. 1 out.
Good high heat, throws it right by Callaspo.
So here's Tian. 1 for 3, a double and a run scored. That coming back in the 4th inning.
Outfield absolutely straight up because Tian hits the ball all over.
And there's a gapper. That's the 5th double for Kansas City tonight.
Second for Tian. Butler has 3. And they do have 1 homer off the bat of Buck in the 4th inning.
That'll bring in Mitch Meyer, who has walked and struck out twice. Well, a lot of spin on it. Nice pick by Paul. Another save right there by Konerko.
When Alexei chooses to lollipop it to first base, it is never a good throw.
Well,
and this one did have some spin, but he had time, and instead of throwing it, he just flips it across. Paul makes a nice pick.
One thing about it, Alexei's been consistent.
Yep.
Low throws in the dirt.
Fortunately, so has Paul. He picks most of them.
So here's Buck. 1 for 3. That 2-run homer, his 5th of the season, coming back in the 4th inning. Little quick spinner right there. And the count 1-0. Minnesota has come back from a 5-0 deficit to take an 8-6 lead over Texas.
Well, I'm pretty sure that Joe Mauer has had something to do with it. We don't know for sure, but he has been just about as hot as you can possibly be. And this year, he has dwarfed his all-time home run high. At last look, he was 10 by his all-time high of 13.
That's high and wide, 2-1. Boy, he's just a great player.
Joe Mauer has 2 home runs tonight.
Just a great player. Not a good one. He's a great one. Anytime, anywhere, any time zone. Threw that one by him to even the count at 2. One of the interesting arguments that goes on in baseball, or discussions, not an argument, discussions about, well, certain guys. Could they have played now? Could they have played 20 years ago? Could they have played 50 years ago? And they're all valid conversations, all valid debates. Drop down, breaking ball. A little too far outside in the full count.
Well, Joe Mauer's swing is a classic swing that could have played any generation at any time.
Anytime. No question. He is a great player. And you got a lot of guys who hit home runs that, like Sammy, for an example. Sammy would take that little hop skip. Well, we have pitchers that in certain time zones strikes him out. He would have taken one hop one time, and that would have been it.
That's the last time.
Meanwhile, bottom of the 8th, 5-4 Royals. White Sox postgame live. You'll see all the highlights. Get Bill Melton's analysis, plus listening on Ozzy's postgame remarks. So don't miss US Cellular White Sox postgame live immediately following this game right here on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend.
Starts with the bottom of the order against Tejeda. He took over for Mesh. Has had 2 pretty solid innings with 4 strikeouts. And you'd certainly love to do a little damage before Soria comes into the game. Joaquim Soria, one of the best closers in baseball.
Here's Jason. He's 1 for 2, a single, and a base on balls. Looks with that one downstairs.
I can tell you that Tejeda is not used to going this far. He's averaged about an inning and a third per appearance, and he's in his 3rd inning of work.
Pull a string on him right there, had him out in front. So 1-1 to count. Jason Nix. Off the end of the bat. Ball's had a lot of spin on it. Snaking out there to Callaspo, who throws him out. 1 down.
If you missed some of the action, go on demand from Comcast. You'll have access to Comcast Sportsnet White Sox games ready to watch on your schedule. Find out more, call 1-888-4BEST-TV. That ball had the strangest spin that we've seen all night. It went 2 or 3 different directions, and Callaspo was able to stay right with it.
So here's Pods, 0 for 3 with a walk. Corners in close. Fastball high. Tomorrow afternoon, 1:05 start. Make your plans to be with us. Jose Contreras against Zach Greinke. If you can't make it, that game right here on Comcast Sportsnet. Got away with a high changeup.
It was one of the few pitches. There's been about 2 or 3 in this outing, which is good for Tejeda, but 2 or 3 that he's left up in the zone, only to see Sox hitters fouled straight back.
Fakes the bunt, draws it back, takes the ball. 2-1. Strike on the outside corner.
Pods didn't like that call. He looked back at Wally Bell. Now Wally's had a bit of a generous corner most of the night for both sides. There's an example of it, because that ball was really never a strike, and Buck yanks it back over the corner as if to illustrate that.
So Buck's going back out. Pods just does get a piece of it. Only one guy in our lineup is playing right now that's taken Tejada deep, and that's AJ. Tomey's taken him deep once, and also Dwayne Wise has taken him deep. Dwayne went on the DL tonight, if you did not hear. As that's fouled, and that's playable. So Tejeda has retired 8 out of the 9 hitters he has seen. Well, the other guy was Maine, who walked. That was back in the 6th inning, and that'll bring up Beckham. Gordon is 0 for 1. He has walked twice and was hit by a pitch. Outfield around to the right, gap out there in left center. T.N. backing off the line at third. He takes first pitch strike. Pretty good little slider, a little spinner right there.
I mean, he takes something off of it, and he throws so hard that those are effective, especially on the first pitch.
And the count 0-2. Turn that changeup over, turned it down and in.
That was a touch outside.
As you could say, just a tad outside.
They tried to get a little something extra on that one and almost tore John Buck's arm off.
Bob Uecker, I love you. Good man.
He is a funny guy.
I've known Bob for 45 years.
Heard him announce one day as I was driving to Milwaukee that it was tank giveaway day downtown. Give a cross section. They were giving away Abrams tanks. Said you might not have a lot of room for them in your garage, but he said they're really nice souvenirs to have. The Army is giving them away, and go on down and pick one up.
Good eye right there.
I was listening, going, well, that's pretty good promotion.
He's the only player probably in Major League history that ever kept a spot on the roster because he was good with his fists. He was a bodyguard to those guys.
I was just saying, it certainly wasn't the bat nor the glove.
He's good with his hands, though. Changes up, strikes him out. 5th punch out for Tejeda, and we're into the 9th.
Tony Pena comes into this one. Carrasco throws an inning, gives up a double, and strikes out 2. And Pena comes on for the 16th time. 1-1 record, ERA 5.79. Kansas City holds a 1-run lead. And they start at the bottom with Betancourt,
who is 0 for 3 tonight. Strikeout, a pop up to short, and a grounder to third. Take strike 1. Our offense last hit coming back in the 5th inning. We had 2 in the first, 1 in the second, 4 in the third, and 1 in the 5th.
Well, that was by far the best outing this year of Robinson Tejeda. He just was throwing the invisible ball.
Well, if you're just joining us, we have had plenty of opportunities to put more points on the board. Scored 1 in the first, stranded 2. Scored none in the second, stranded 3. Stranded 1 in the third, 1 in the fourth, 2 in the fifth, and 1 in the sixth.
Tejeda threw 3 innings of hitless baseball with a walk and 5 strikeouts. His night is done as Soria loosens in the pen.
Those starters were touched up pretty good, but Mesh is going to come out if we can't score in the 9th with a win. Freddie, who started for us, Garcia, will come out with a loss. He going.
Betancourt thought that ball was a little high. Ollie Bell calling strikes tonight. If a catcher catches it at his mask, it should be a strike. That is, unless he's standing up, and AJ isn't.
Unless it was Eddie Goodell.
Yes, well, then that would have been a touch high.
Here's to Jesus. He's 0 for 3 with a base on balls. And he is 1 for 4 with a base on balls. So here's Bloomquist. He is 2 for 4 tonight with a couple runs scored. If we can hold them right here, we'll have the heart of the order coming up. Dye, Konerko, Pierzynski, Quinton, and then Rios. To face Joaquin Soria. That's cued foul. And the count 1-1. We have an off day on Thursday after the game tomorrow with Contreras and Zach Greinke. And on Friday, Elvis night. Still tickets available. So call 866-SOX-GAME and check it out. And Saturday and Sunday, the finale of that 3-game set with Baltimore before a big 11-game road trip. We will have 4 in Boston, 3 in New York, 3 in Minnesota, and 1 in Wrigley Field. That coming on September 3rd, the makeup game. Two and 1. In that Baltimore series, we're going to be running Floyd on Friday, Danks on Saturday, Burley on Sunday against them. They're going to run Guthrie, Hernandez, and Jason Birkin against us. check. And the count 3-1.
This could turn out to be one of the biggest sequences of the game. Last thing you want to do is walk Bloomquist ahead of Butler and Jacobs.
Jesus, decent lead now. He's been taking a short lead. He's not good. And that pitch fouled, and it's going to be in the seats. High fives all around on a nice little snap. Full count to Bloomquist. There goes the runner on the 3-2 pitch, and that's chop foul.
Jesus has to retreat. And this is a pretty good situation for a strike him out, throw him out. De Jesus doesn't accelerate real well as a base stealer. And Bloomquist will go down on strikes.
Well, there's some guys that have good defensive speed, some guys have good offensive speed. There he goes, did not get a good jump. Can Paulie get there? Yes, he will. Reaches out, makes a play. De Jesus gets back. De Jesus has decent defensive speed out there in the outfield.
Yeah, very good.
But put him on the base paths, and he just got a terrible jump right there. Looked like he was running in place for a couple of steps.
Well, 4 out of 11 in stolen bases is a guy you want to stay planted for the most part. But Trey Hemmel was trying to stay out of the double play.
So here's Butler. He is 3 for 4 with 3 doubles. As I mentioned, he now has 41 on the season. And this game has really come to a snail's pace the last 3 or 4 innings. And we do not play well or score well when we play slow. Our club is definitely a fast tempo team.
Especially with the newly added speed to the lineup. But tonight, that speed has largely been negligible because of home runs and Tejeda.
Butler fouls that one back in the upper tank. And that evens the count at 1. Yeah, the faster we play, the better we play, and the more we score. The last, I don't know, 10 years, 12 years, maybe closer to 15. Kansas City has been, as that's up and in by him, the team who has played notoriously slow ball games. I guess the slowest have been over the years lately have been the Yankees. Yankees always play slow ball games. Baltimore always plays slow ball games. Oakland used to play very, very slow. Very, very, you always had 3-hour 10, 3-hour 20-minute games with days. But the 1-2 pitch to Butler. Now when Burley and Mulder teed it up when Mulder was with Oakland, that was fast.
Oh, Burley and Hudson.
That was fast, but not like Mulder and Burley. They would throw a couple of games under 2 hours, 149. And another souvenir.
Well, I was here when Burley went head-to-head with Seattle's Ryan Franklin in a 1-0 game. That was either 139 or 141. Now Franklin, the closer for the Cardinals, but then a starter with the Mariners.
He gone. And that'll do it. We'll go to the bottom of the ninth inning. We need one to tie with Dye, Konerko, Pierzynski, the first three.
Very little luck. 15 hits, 9 runs in 9 1/3 innings, but the bullpen on both sides has been awfully tough. 7 2/3 innings, 3 hits, 12 strikeouts. And now Joakim Soria comes in the game. 3-0, ERA 2.21 on for the 33rd time. He has 19 saves, 10 walks, 46 strikeouts in 36 2/3 innings. When they signed him out of the Mexican League, they signed him as a starter. He had thrown one of the 3 perfect games in Mexican League history. And they thought he was going to be a starter, but they eased him in. Pitched in the 6th inning, pitched in the 7th inning. And he said to Bob McClure, I can close. And one day he did, and here he is.
Jermaine can't get it from the 25-year-old right-hander, 6'3", 200 pounds, out of Monclova, Mexico. Jermaine, our guys, first 3 have not had a lot of success against it. Jermaine is 0 for 6. There's the strike. Paulie is 0 for 4.
He hurt himself. Soria hurt himself. And he landed very strangely. Looked like he turned his left ankle. Looked like it almost collapsed on him. Now we'll have to see. Sometimes if you don't smooth out that area in front of the mound, when there's been a lot of pitchers, you step in a hole previously made by a couple of the pitchers and you turn your ankle. And that's it. He's smoothing out that landing area. Looks like it's still painting it.
Yeah, it did on that one.
Yep.
He said it's all right.
He says it's okay. I don't think that he's 100% right now, but normally he has pinpoint control.
Well, Jermaine very quickly has got an 0-2 count.
We'll see how this affects him. He has given up 4 home runs this year in 36 2/3 innings.
None to any of our guys. We have no home runs against him. In fact, we only have 2 extra base hits, a double by Quentin and a double by Alexei off this guy.
Well, he's got 4 pitches that he can put over the plate wherever he wants them. And he's turned into quite a reliever.
Down and in, and count 1-2.
He's grimacing when he lands, so that ankle is not great.
Outfield really deep. We're way back. It's over their heads. It's out of here. Hits him on the fist right there. Jermaine just fights it off. And the count hangs at 1-2. One out. 8th strikeout for Kansas City pitching tonight.
Well, he puts this in a good spot, even though it's not the spot he wanted it. Buck wants it low and away, and Soria gets it low and in.
Usually that is Jermaine's wheelhouse right there.
Yep. He didn't want to throw it there. He did, and he got away with it.
So here's Konerko. Polly is 1 for 2. A single in the first, a homer in the third. Deep in the right field stretch. Right up against the fence is Bloomquist. He just missed it. And that's out number 2. Dead.
Well, to this point, it's been the Bloomquist throw and cutting down of Carlos Quentin at the plate that's been the difference. This is a low fastball, and Paul got most of it, not quite all of it. And Bloomquist gets it right in front of the fence.
So here's AJ. He's 2 for 4. An RBI single back in the first. That with 2 out, and he singled and scored in the third. Takes first pitch strike. And very quickly, we are down to our last bullet. And that breaking ball foul.
It rattles around and hits a few of the Royals in their dugout.
And this ball game is over. So we had a lead. We led it 4-1 after 3. Couldn't hold it. They scored 2 in the fourth, 2 in the fifth. And as you mentioned earlier, Stone Pony, both bullpens really did a job.
Well, opportunities abounding early for the Sox.